plane was hit by a violent burst of turbulence. The other passengers scrambled to fasten theirs too, but by then it was already too late. As the aircraft shook harder and harder, a crack ripped through the cabin door, and the force of the wind instantly sucked several people right out of the plane. One man, desperate to stay alive, grabbed onto Linda's hand with everything he had to keep from being pulled away. But then another passenger grabbed her too. Terrified that Linda might let go of him, the man started choking her, clamping his hand around her throat. Just as she was about to black out, Linda spotted a fork on the floor and snatched it up, finally managing to free herself from him. But before she could even catch her breath, the sight in front of her left her frozen in shock. The entire plane was plunging straight toward the ocean. As seawater began pouring into the cabin, Linda hurried to unbuckle her seatbelt, but now it was jammed. Panicked, she fumbled wildly with the latch until, by sheer luck, she finally got it open and barely escaped the crash with her life. When she came to, she found herself washed up on a deserted island. Still dazed and terrified, she suddenly noticed someone else lying on the beach. To her surprise, it was her boss. Blood was pouring from his thigh, so Linda quickly tore off a strip of cloth and used it to stop the bleeding. Then she smashed a rock to make a crude cutting tool and used it to slice down banana leaves and branches. Linda had watched enough survival shows to know exactly what that brutal sun could do. If she didn't build some shade right away, her already half-conscious boss would pass out from dehydration. Back at work, Linda had always been a hard-working employee, but her boss never valued her. In fact, he had even planned to lay her off. The two of them had been flying out for a business trip when the crash happened. Even though he had always looked down on her, Linda still took care of him as best she could. After a while, her boss finally woke up, but instead of thanking her, he immediately started barking orders, telling her to hurry up and figure out how to get them rescued. After everything she had done for him, he was still acting like the boss. Furious, Linda turned and walked away. At first, he didn't think much of it, but before long, the scorching sun made him miserable and irritable. Fortunately, Linda came back with fresh water just in time, and that finally calmed him down. It was only then that he realized something important. If he wanted to survive on this island, he had no choice but to rely on the woman standing in front of him. So for the first time, he apologized. Luckily, Linda had plenty of survival knowledge. Digging through what she remembered, she managed to start a fire by rubbing sticks together. And once they had fire, they could finally cook the fish they caught. Under Linda's care, her boss was at last able to eat a hot meal again. Linda herself couldn't help laughing at her own resourcefulness. It almost felt like fate had handed her a second chance at life. Her old 9-to-5 job had never left her any time to travel, and strangely enough, this simple, carefree life in the wild actually suited her. But surviving on a deserted island was anything but easy, and it came with dangers she never could have imagined. One day, while searching through the jungle for supplies, Linda spotted a line of animal tracks on the ground. At first, she thought they belonged to some small creature, but then she realized they belonged to a massive wild boar weighing hundreds of pounds. To save herself, Linda took off running. But the boar wasn't about to let her go. Just when it seemed like she was done for, she grabbed a stick off the ground. Somehow, in the chaos, she ended up killing the boar. And because of that, the two of them were eating roast pork that night. Honestly, it smelled pretty amazing.